What's going on, everybody? NekroPhage here on the Platinum Standard, and today I am bringing you guys another episode of NekroPhage Pro Tips, and this one is actually going to be an Injustice Gods Among Us edition. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the S.T.A.R Labs mission called Kryptonite Batarangs, and I ran into some trouble with this mission. It actually took me about an hour to beat, but for those who don't know what the S.T.A.R Labs missions are, these are side missions that the developers at NetherRealm Studios kind of threw in to Injustice to give us some variety of single-player gameplay. It doesn't really affect the story, they're just fun little missions to do on the side with all the characters. But yeah, this Kryptonite Batarangs mission, I absolutely hated. It took me forever. And in these missions, you have to earn 3 stars to be completely done with the mission. And as you can see, what we need to do to get 3 stars is we need to use an interactive object, we need to beat Batman, and we need to avoid all his Kryptonite Batarangs. And this last one is the one I had the most trouble with. So I guess we'll just jump right into this thing, see how it goes. Hopefully we end up coming out with some 3 stars. Pro tip number 1. Batman's AI is completely and utterly ruthless at times. Occasionally, when you start this mission, Batman's first move will be to throw a batarang at you. And normally that happens before you have a chance to either dodge it or block it. And there's no point in getting frustrated. It's just something that the AI is programmed to do. So I suggest just stopping, retrying, and going again. Remember, 3 stars is the goal here. Pro tip number 2. Close the distance between you and Batman. At the beginning of this attempt, I tried to take a more defensive approach. As you can see, I try to stay back as far as possible. I try to crouch and block as often as possible. I'm basically just trying to see what Batman's tendencies are if I don't attack him straight away. And it just so happens that the more distance I put between me and Batman, the more often he decides to throw his batarangs. And it becomes even more difficult to avoid at this range because he's got a high batarang he can throw and one straight down the pipe. So what I suggest is attacking him straight away, try to get him locked in that corner, and try to juggle him as often as possible. It's going to be harder to dodge any batarangs he throws at this distance, but it's going to be well worth it. And finally, pro tip number 3, Batman's slide meter burn doesn't count as a batarang hit. Let me explain a little more. Occasionally Batman will hit you with his slide move and he'll throw a meter burn on the end of it. That meter burn is an extra batarang throw. And when that hits you, that doesn't count as being technically hit by a batarang because it's still part of just that one move, that slide move. So if you get hit with that, keep on going. You still have a shot to get those 3 stars. Don't keep retrying and retrying every time you get hit with this move because he'll throw a meter burn on the end of that slide quite often. And here it is, ladies and gents, my successful 3-star attempt. I'll shut up while it's going so you guys can sit back and enjoy the awesomeness.
Ends now. Get down.
You're afraid.
I admire your bravery.
And there it is, that elusive 3 stars. Took us a while, but we finally got there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, I'm NekroPhage, and superheroes need be afraid of me.